All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass here. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and we don't watch sports, so wife and I are actually kind of cooking. But I came out here today. I finally did an oil change on the car. It's like 46, 47 degrees outside. I finally put the new O2 sensor in, and we got some data. So at idle, this thing's about 13.5. And then cruising, we're actually going pretty lean, 15.0, 15.6. And then at wide open throttle, it'll peg 9 on the AFR gauge, and then it will slowly creep up a little higher, but that's still too fat. So there's a little bit of jetting to do, a couple things to do. I already talked to my buddy Mylan about it. He made a couple of suggestions on what to do and what to try out. And we're going to go ahead and order up a couple of parts. I think I need nozzles. He suggested a different power valve. And we're going to change main jetting when we go ahead and do that. But for now, I'm going to leave this tune as is and put the camera on it and go from there because I wasn't doing my testing in the best of places. So really, I was going like wide open throttle for maybe like 100 to 200 feet and then having to let off. That's a really short time frame, and I don't know if the engine was able to fully recover because it died on me once when I did like a 200-foot pull on it, and when I was coasting, I came to a full stop and then it died. But that also could have been fuel slosh. The car was all over the road and it's not safe. All right, so I typically, I gotta hit my special spot for testing. But now that I have a decent tune and I know that it's not gonna die and foul the plugs out driving, I can go ahead and proceed. Now, the one thing. And for that main part, since I know that my wide open throttle is dead fat, I'm still going to stick to AFR gauge, but with this basic tune that we have, I'm going to drive it around and then, because it's still a little too lean on the drive end for me to want to go anywhere far. It's like 15.6, 15.0, 15.6, which is, for the compression we have, I'm surprised this thing, but again, detonation is a silent killer, guys. So the AFR gauge definitely pays off in spades, and I'm glad that I haven't put too many miles on this combination. I think today was the most I've actually driven it. I drove it around the neighborhoods here by my house, and I got on it a couple of times, twice. And it got warmed up, and there's pretty good air. We're revisiting that, I guess. We're pretty much starting to get ready for our race season. I put a deposit down on a trailer since when I switched jobs, I lost my trailer access, but that's like an adult point for me. I've never actually owned my own trailer. So I did save up money, and I didn't want to buy a used trailer. My advice to you guys, again, if you're buying a used trailer, expect to go through the wiring, expect to go through the bearings, and expect to check the brakes at minimum. It's because, trailers get beat up. They do sit a lot, which isn't great. And so really, I decided to buy a new trailer. I found a closeout deal on a 2022 wood deck 18-foot trailer and put a deposit down, and we'll be picking that up in the next week or two before we go on vacation. But in the meantime, the weather's looking really good. I need to order new front tires. I need to get my slicks mounted still. Our old slicks are still actually pretty damn good. So really, there's no rush on that. I just wanted to go to a 28x9 because I picked up those slicks for a really good deal. And then I got tubes and I got the center lines. But I am going to need street tires. So I might get another set of Mickey Thompson drag radials. But I may do like a 315 in the back because I can do a 315 with this particular wheel combination, but we'll see. For now, I'm really happy with this thing. Even though the tune isn't exactly 100%, this thing absolutely rips. So much better than before where, it was kind of barely running. We managed to make like 5 or 6 runs when we went to the track, and yeah, so I'll actually drop that link for the new followers from when we had this out last fall. You know, I did the engine swap in 1 week, and then, you know, within a week we were on the track with this engine, and we managed to run an 1158 on a crappy tune. So this thing's only going to speed up. So I cannot wait for spring tuning. Tracks are still about a month and a half away from opening up, guys. So another reason why I was out here is I sold the RPM intake that I had. It's actually headed for Alaska. The gentleman wanted it opened up to big block size ports, so I did my best to pin down the gaskets with a bolt that would fit really tight in here. You can see I forcing it. So I lined up the gaskets, used this bolt as a centering point, and that's the best I could do. Ultimately, the correct way, you guys have seen me do it with my RPM intake that's in that engine, and I will also put the link to that on there if you guys want to go back and check that out. Again, I have so many old videos, but I was wrapping this up, cleaning it up for the gentleman. It's going to be in the mail tomorrow, and you know, we did have some time to play with this today. So yeah, you know, we do have some stretch of highway right by us, but I wanted to, you know, I want to put a couple of more miles just around the neighborhoods to shake anything down. But for the most part, this thing's pretty good. It's not bad at all. Just a couple quirks here and there, and really, I think it should be good. Oil pressure is great. I did the oil change to get rid of that funky oil that probably had a lot more fuel in it than I would have liked, but it's not like I was fouling out plugs pretty bad. I also did do a new battery. I'm going to go dual battery in the rear. For now, this is just one in the front. I think the old Odyssey battery is just dead. I don't know if it's got a date on there. That might be it. 11/14. No, that's not right. I think I got that battery in 2015. Yeah, no, that battery's actually quite quite old. So I don't think it was actually holding a charge anymore. I put this battery in there, and it's much happier. So I'm gonna, you know, guess that some of our tuning problems were spark related, but we are slowly getting there to a better point of range where the car is much happier. So we're gonna proceed with a little bit more tweaking and go from there, and then you know, we'll follow it up. We don't have a whole lot going on. The engine is coming together, as you guys saw the other video, but we got our last pieces, so that's going to start probably during the week. I'm going to start wrapping that up. So we'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I'll drop those links in the description so you guys can reference when I ported that intake, very similar to that intake, and then when we had this at the track last fall. So again, nothing major, but we're out here anyway. I figured I'd share that with you guys. So we'll see you around.